And we're live. Good afternoon. Happy Tuesday, everyone.
Hello. It's Industry Live Tuesday.
Woo woo.
Welcome. Yeah.
Welcome. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for joining us, everyone who's stopping in and joining our conversation. I'm ThatKimberly.
It's Deb.
And we are live sharing our points of views, having conversations around all things marketing, multifamily startups, sharing our experiences,
Mhm. Yep.
because
Sharing our experiences, everything that we've learned in all of our years and our different roles, and we're just bringing it out to everyone,
yep,
sharing it with the world, and hoping that we get some folks that want to chime in and
yeah,
help share their knowledge as well.
absolutely. Today, on this Industry Live Tuesday, we're going to be recapping Multifamily Social Media Summit that I went to last week and why and what you should look for in a conference.
Yep. We're gonna touch a little bit more on trade shows today, but we're going to dial in on the one that you just attended.
Yeah, for sure.
So it's fresh.
Fresh information. So again, we are live on Facebook, Deb's personal Facebook, my professional Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So wherever you're watching, make sure that you join the conversation, share your experience with us, and or ask a question.
Mm-hmm.
Two, maybe follow or like the platform so you know and get the notifications when we do go live. As well as if you find the information useful, then please like it and share it with someone. Send it to a friend, a colleague, or anyone you know that might be able to benefit from the knowledge.
Yes, yes,
Did I
yes.
miss anything?
Nope. You're all good. Yeah. Say hi. If you're watching, say hi. We want to hear
Yeah,
from you.
I had a lot of people say that they got our notifications and or stopped in to listen to the live, and I had to tell them, please say hello whenever
Yes,
you do.
yes. Say hi. Don't be a stranger. You're
Yeah, for
behind a keyboard. Come on.
sure.
All
Yeah.
right. So let's dive into last week. So you went to the social media summit for multifamily.
Yes, multifamily social media summit in Napa, which doesn't suck,
It
right?
does not suck at all.
It was actually its 10-year anniversary. 10 years.
And
Yeah, I haven't been going all 10 years. I probably went 7 out of the 10. um
close enough.
yeah, and 2 of them were during the pandemic. Well, they didn't have it obviously during the 2020, and they did have something smaller 2021. So I think I missed 2019, 2020, and then 21. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways,
You got back on the wagon.
yeah, for sure. They do a great job of, like, the first day was workshops,
Mm-hmm.
and they had 4 different workshops.
Okay.
One that was around social media, and they talked about how to ideas to keep your feed fresh. Um, this young lady named Erica hit on lots of different things. She focused a lot on Instagram, and she said that, but there were practical ways that apartment communities and suppliers could boost their engagement, build brand awareness. She gave really great examples. Something that I had learned that I did not know was you could turn highlights into reels.
So
So
like your Facebook highlights,
yeah, Facebook.
the
Well,
Instagram reels.
and yes. So that way it's your I think you can do the same well, you share them on Facebook,
Mm-hmm.
but you're grabbing your Instagram highlights and making those into reels, which the Instagram does it for you. Like there's
Oh,
yeah,
so
so
instant. Okay.
yeah, so it's an easier way to grab your content that you've already posted within your feed and making that, which a lot of times people put those into their stories, so then you can make that into a highlight, which that
Makes
was
sense.
definitely something I learned new. It was
Hi,
great.
real quick. Hi, Peggy.
Hi, Peggy. Thanks for joining us.
Yay.
Second workshop was about user-generated content, which I'm all about.
Yep.
UGC is the acronym, and that was
User-generated
content.
content.
Yes.
User-generated content.
Correct. That basically is you not you. Well, it could be you, but it's usually made by your audience, and number one, with a cell phone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not with a quote unquote professional camera, but all phones are pretty awesome, right? They're
So
pretty high.
user-generated content is what you ideally hope that is happening within your social world, that your end customer is engaging and posting and selling for you.
Yes. But you're getting permission to utilize their content to repurpose that and make that into a video, or doing the video yourself. If you're at a resident event, or if you're a supplier at a trade show and you go live or do a quick recording of a testimonial, or interaction, whatever, that's user generated content once you post that online. Okay. So this young lady, Delaney Duke, who was a digital service manager for Landmark Properties, talked about the how-tos to leverage different social media platforms, and be able to gain that user-generated content. Always ask permission, whatever, that was first and foremost, right?
Always.
Yeah, but how to collect it and then how to repurpose it. And really just harness the power of storytelling through, she did talk a lot about TikTok and Instagram Reels, which is awesome.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. So yeah. where does so user generated content, that probably is more of an organically created process that happens, and then you need to figure out when you're going to, I guess.
Post it. You can, one, it's great. You say the word organic. It's great for organic SEO, because all search engines, and when I say the word search engine, I mean like Google, Facebook's a search engine now too. Yeah. All of those platforms love video content first. They love live video content. Second comes video content, long or short formed. And then third would be a photo, or, just a regular copy post, but video. So that was really great.
Cool.
And her tactics, and actually give like real actionable items that you can take back and execute.
That's really cool.
Yeah. It talked also, there was a workshop that I did not attend, but was fair housing and social media, which was quite informative. They talked about the highlights were how the liability does not require proof of discriminatory intent, discriminatory buzzwords, consistency, who is monitoring content, design your marketing ads, and discriminatory ad placement, which those were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 takeaways that people learned. So, and then number 4 was strategies to better acquire first party data. So this person gave, Randy Reyes, co-founder of Outgrow, gave different tools that you can build on how to help acquire your first party data, how to come up with ideas for tools to acquire first party data, how to build, launch, and sync data from those tools. So it was a lot of stuff. That right there was around the Facebook. So which by then, they do at this conference, it's a very intimate setting. And so they have these workshops, and then the next day, which I'll talk about, are the sessions, but then they also give those supplier partners that want to exhibit the opportunity to exhibit their services or platform or whatever. So there's a room that you can go in that's separate from where the sessions are, that you can go and visit the different suppliers, which that's cool. That list is deep. Like yeah, they had 36 supplier partners that exhibited, and then they had other supplier partners that just sponsored to were there, and then they also had supplier partners that paid to attend as well. So it was a lot of networking. It was great. You saw people like owner John. I saw John Ridgway there. Hi, John. Shout out to John, who's an owner based out of Houston, Texas. So you saw from owner, operator, C-suite to regionally based marketing positions. And
you say that, I mean, primarily marketing?
I would say 75%. Yeah, something having that they touch marketing, right? Like, because there was training. Sometimes people lump training and marketing together. Sometimes they lump marketing and sales together. So there was definitely a marketing focus, but you did, like I said, find owners and executives that were there. A lot, like it was kind of interesting that a few of the executives I did meet, they came because they wanted to know what this was all about. They'd been sending their people all these years, and they were like, are they really learning things, or are they just drinking wine,
Well, I mean, there's all of that too, but I mean, I think the more that our elders in our industry,
the modern
elders, though they have the best of intentions, this game of social and marketing changes so freaking fast.
Yep.
And you have to have somebody that's engaged in that all the time. And I think that sometimes you just can become so far removed from it.
Yeah.
That it just seems like a bunch of nonsense.
Yeah.
There's a science and there's an entire game behind it.
Oh yeah. The numbers were real around the engagement and what the consumer wants. Like, they definitely showed, well, the first day, the second day when they started going into the sessions, that a speaker I'd seen speak before, his name is Andrew Davis. He is just the most, even online, he is great virtual online because he had to, but
I've seen him online. Yeah.
So I saw him at the social media summit. He's from A-Leaf, shout out,
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't live in A-Leaf anymore, but yeah, he, I saw him speak in 2017, and then, or maybe it was 18. And then, the next time the pandemic hit, right? Like, so, but he definitely talks about pivoting, but at this talk, he, the title was Embrace the Constraints, and Spark the Cube of Creativity. So he basically gave action items, 4 different tools that you walk through to be able to get projects done. So you're not paralyzed. And so you have a goal. You can actually focus and bring the team together on consensus to get some stuff done. Yeah, it was really, really the cube of creativity. Like, you and I are definitely going to walk through the.
Good. I want to hear. Yeah. I want to hear more of that. That sounds cool.
Yeah. Eliminating the unnecessary, define the outcome, limit the options, and raise the stakes. And once you answer and put, exactly underneath those categories, what you're trying to accomplish, he showed several different examples of companies that did this exact thing and pivoted to succeed and not go out of business during the pandemic. So
what were these recorded?
Yeah, I recorded like just a certain part of the meat of what he was talking about, so that way, because I couldn't write and type fast enough. So I definitely recorded the middle section of it just for the gist of to be able to explain it, right? And I know he's done the talk, he doesn't rarely do the same talk ever, I feel, but he does do a lot online leading up to the, whatever, like the Cube of Creativity. So I'm sure you could find it on his website or, follow him on LinkedIn, but it definitely was a great, hour of, and he's just such a enthusiastic and funny speaker and really hits home on a lot of his, knowledge. So
cool. Look at that.
Yeah, it was great. After him came the Google guy who,
what's new in Google?
He talked about the new world of opportunity to build your community and manage your image and win your next renter via video. And then driving better business outcomes on Facebook. So using custom audiences, lookalikes, and that over there was totally over my head and hurt my brain, right? But that the gentleman's name was Spencer Smith. He talked through different lookalike audiences, customizing that, like, because Meta, which is their name now, aka Facebook, changes on an ongoing basis, and so he walked through some, key information on how to identify and leverage your first party data so that you can ad target better, which it's crazy. Like just how, thinking back to when people first started advertising on Facebook, right? And they're like, oh, that's not where our consumer is. And now they're, they're there.
Oh, they're there. Yeah. They're all over the interweb. So you really can't go wrong. Like,
and the fastest growing is TikTok, right? Like the 13 to 26-year-olds, that's where they're at. And they like, and it's not even about dancing videos anymore. It's just about education and being in front of on the platform that they want to communicate with you at. Did you know Google My Business?
Okay, what's happening in Google My Business?
They're now officially called Google Business Profile.
Okay.
And Mr. Martin from Apartment SEO gave, like a basic overview on Google Business 101. Helped enhance how you could enhance your Google Business Profile so you rank higher. How you can get found on discovery search pages, as well as SEO hacks to increase your visibility and traffic. What a lot of people don't understand is if people are not reviewing your business, you're not going to show up on the map. Your reviews will come up, but your
map position will be smashed down.
Well, it's a whole other search. People sometimes that's all they go to is search on the map, right? So, but you're not going to show up there. Somebody else will, because you're not getting reviews. You're not focusing on your Google Business Profile, which you should be. So you can come up on that map, which I thought was super insightful, because we had we were online everywhere. We had a local based address, but more than ever, people need to better understand how Google ranks you and how reviews affect your overall business listing.
Yeah. That's a whole nother world.
Oh yeah. Like we could do, like it's the question answers alone or just, I couldn't type fast enough.
We got a comment. Caroline Ferguson, amazing how much of our brand's presence depends on the engagement of other people. And that's so true.
Well, it's not just their engagement, but your engagement back with them. That was the one thing that it's so very true, Caroline. Thanks for that comment, because we have to be authentic as well as engage back with the audience that is, online talking good or bad about us. You want to find out, for apartment communities, especially Leah and Nicole Smith did a great job of talking about reputation and reviews, and how you should really find out why they're upset with you. What is the sentiment? Why are they, instead of just fluffing it off, like how you can change.
It's about the engagement. And and not ignoring.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
I learned that years ago when I was in a position of selling marketing type things. But that was one of the things that I preached the most, because oddly it was not widely understood that you should reply to every review. Every review should have a reply, good, bad, or like it needs a reply. Like you have to engage with your audience.
Well, back then, would they always used to say, take it offline, like respond to them, but take it offline. Now more than ever, they're
solving it, right?
Solving it, figuring out why they said what they said, whether it's offline or online, but it's probably smarter to take it offline. I don't think that's changed. She didn't say that it changed, but
I think it depends on the situation, but I think there's definitely a lot of things that you can be easily solved right there.
Yeah. But finding out why, right? I want to know why somebody was upset with me, right?
Mhm.
Like, what
Right.
could I, if I'm a business, what can I do better, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
How can I change?
If you're a good business owner, you
Yeah,
want to know what the problem was because you want to correct it.
for sure, 100%.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because how are you gonna, that's the one thing we all, as I think, as sales, anybody in business, when somebody cancels a contract with you, you want to understand
Mhm.
why,
Why?
right? How can you make
Mhm.
it better? What could you do maybe to save it? If you can't save it, then maybe the lesson will be learned for next time, right? How
Right.
you can change that. And if it had anything to do with you, because sometimes it doesn't have anything, like
Right.
it's not about you, right?
No, I always love diving into those questions,
Yeah.
because I do want to get a real understanding of that. And
Hmm.
if it's not me, I want to know because I think our assumption is that it's us. We did something wrong, or
Hmm.
we sucked, or something like that. But
Yeah.
sometimes it's nothing to do with you. It's not all about you, Kimberly.
Yeah, I
Bad.
know. I know. I know.
Womp womp.
Wah, wah. But we should still ask them. We should try
Yes.
to find out. And the person on the other end, the consumer, the client, whatever,
Hmm.
should give that feedback. That's gonna make, good, bad, or indifferent. It should be given, because
Right.
how are they going to change? Especially if they're asking.
Right.
That
Hmm.
crickets is not the way to go.
Right.
Nobody, I know people don't like confrontation, but I feel like you can give constructive feedback back without being harsh and negative
Hmm.
or ugly.
Right. Agreed.
Um,
What else amazing did you learn?
Social media talent, recruitment and retention by Jennifer Stachokis and Jen Picotti, which they're always great
Right.
speakers. I didn't get to catch that, but I have seen them speak before on
Hmm.
it. And it is a great way. Like on TikTok, I mean, you and I are both on TikTok. I see recruiters all the time teaching and telling people what to do
Hmm.
with their resumes and what, interview questions, things like that. So so that means the audience is there,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah.
The talent is out there looking.
Oh no, I definitely agree. Yeah, I know as people are still making, us elders,
Hmm.
even my 42, we've got those 40s that are still fighting the TikTok, but I say
But
jump
they're the
on.
fastest growing audience.
I know. I just think that it's probably a little bit of like an age thing. You just don't want to do another thing.
Yeah,
It's another app. It's another.
yeah. But if you're in business and you're in sales or in
Mhm.
marketing, you need to at
Right.
least taste it, touch it, figure out how you can use that tool to be able to either sell or produce more content,
Right.
right? So that your
Mhm.
message, it's about your message,
Mhm.
putting your message out there. And I think the modern elders are hung up on the whole dancing, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
That's how it started,
Yeah.
but it's really,
It's
yes,
not.
it's not anymore, but yes, you can go on there and dance. Like a lot of, they also mentioned in one of the sessions about how content creators like Pinterest, Pinterest just invested, what was the amount of money? I read this article this morning, $20 million for just content creators. Yeah. So because they're following what TikTok, how TikTok pays their
Mhm.
creators now, right? YouTube switched to paying their content creators. People who are creating content online are able to make money, right? And so more and more platforms are jumping into that and building out some sort of plan for those content creators that are on their platform, so
Mhm.
that they won't go somewhere else, right?
Right.
So it's very important to learn, because you never know
Mhm.
how you can utilize it, how it will, how it will benefit you, how you can make money,
Right. Right.
so overall it definitely was, I get it was a 3-day event. First, workshop, then the day 2 and 3 were the just different general sessions. Social audio was another big thing that
What
real,
does that mean?
Clubhouse, it's
Mhm.
live audio conversations. So Clubhouse was the first
Mhm.
app to start that, and Twitter now has Twitter Spaces. Spotify is about to launch, or has already launched something. Facebook is in the process of launching a live space. So instead of seeing video, right, it's going to be audio that's live, not
Mm.
that you could then record and then make into a podcast.
Content. Yeah.
but it's only audio, and it's just a back and forth, it's a live conversation. And so that's the next thing. Like, that's a really big.
Basically, what I'm hearing is that everyone needs to get outside of their box.
Yeah.
And you've got to get comfortable in front of the camera and the mic.
Yeah. Yeah. And going to attending, like, what was the first conference or trade show do you think you attended?
My first trade show was an HAA trade show, like 11 years ago.
Okay. I didn't know I knew one person when I moved to Dallas and started my company, and I didn't know any better, like absolutely no better. And actually went to brainstorming in Vegas, or was it Reno? It was like no other, like, it was a conference / trade show.
Yeah.
And then I went to my local in Dallas, which is a whole other animal. Like, trade shows where you exhibit are very different than conferences where you still network and you still meet people, but at conferences there are educational sessions that most
for you. Yeah. That's what I appreciate about a conference, that not only am I attending and doing the whole business thing, but I love being able to walk away from an event and have my own education and new ideas. And I love to hear the new content. So it's too easy with some of like the other trade shows. You're kind of like stuck, you're working the floor. Yeah.
Working the floor. We're going to trade show floor, but you can go to a conference and you can pay to attend as a supplier and still. And if you set up appointments with people that will be there, and how do you know? You ask, or sometimes they give you an attendee list and you can reach out to people, but you set up appointments, right? You attend the sessions, you set up appointments, and you network. They give you all kinds of opportunities to network at these conferences.
Right. I love it.
And taking advantage of that, even when they did like the happy hours that they had every night, before people went off to dinners, that you were able to learn and meet other people, learn about new products and platforms, as well as meet, not just management people, but suppliers that you can possibly partner with, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Conversations. It's all about the conversation. So I definitely recommend this conference. And, I'll be going back every year. It's gotten better. So and I actually got to speak to Adam Jappo. Shout out Adam. He said he'd love to come on and chat with us about when he first started doing, conferences and why, because he doesn't just do social media. He does another.
A little history for everyone else who is.
Yeah. For sure.
Who is he? Like,
sorry. He's the creator of Multifamily Social Media Summit. So so he but just being able to better understand what conference is good for you and or your company and or your sending your people. Like AIM is coming up. Texas Department Association is coming up. What else is coming up?
We've got HAA, TAA. I mean, I know Florida's got their to Tampa, Orlando's next month. I mean,
Dallas is coming. I think
Dallas is today.
Oh, today. Shout out.
I believe today. And then, I mean, I know I've just put some Denver dates down for Denver and Colorado. I mean, it's moving and shaking out there. So OpTech with NMHC will be coming up around the corner in October. That's a really great conference.
Yeah, that's when you can pay to attend as even though you're a supplier, which I highly recommend that conference as well. If you're in any kind of tech or marketing, you should be at something like OpTech, Social Media Summit, or AIM, attending or exhibiting, whatever your budget will allow.
Right.
But those are places you should absolutely go.
Agreed.
It's cool. It's a great place to network, find new business, as well as see your existing customers.
And educate yourself on some great content. So
for sure, 100%. So that was it. I got a lot done. My brain hurt. It was, and because it is specific standard time, I just constantly felt like there was no break, and so that's the only thing.
All conferences, they're all exhausting. It's like nonstop all day. So
yeah. And because even when they give you a break, you're networking, right?
Yeah, you're never off. You're never on break.
Right. Yeah, not at all. Not at all.
Well, cool. I'm definitely going to put that on the calendar for next year.
Yes.
I will
And
be
it
there.
doesn't suck being in Napa, right? Like,
No, I mean, that doesn't suck at
even when
all.
it's rainy, it doesn't suck.
I don't care. I don't
I'd
care
like
what
it
the
not
weather is
rain, but
doing.
yeah,
Yeah, I'll be there.
for sure. I'd like it not to rain, but if it does, it just doesn't suck, right? And
Yeah.
it's I believe it's going to be around the same time. So
Mhm.
we'll get all the insights from Adam next month. As well as we're going to have some folks on from hopefully, well, I won't say that yet. So I'll
Mhm.
leave that from some other conferences possibly, but we'll
But
get the confirmation first before we announce that one.
yes, but we do have someone lined up.
Yeah, for next week. Who
Mhm.
we talking to next week?
Miss Kathy Cook with opinions. She lives in the review world.
Ooh,
So, that'll be a fun topic. I can't wait to
yeah,
hear all the new things and just, see what she
things
has
to
to
think
say.
about. Yeah, for sure.
Really
Reviews
fun.
are super important for anybody that has a business, for sure, 100%.
Mhm.
It doesn't whether
Absolutely.
you're a apartment owner or you're a business owner.
Mhm.
Reviews are important for sure.
Yep. You can't
So
ignore them. Yep.
I'm excited to talk to Kathy next week.
Awesome. Well, it looks
So
like we're out of time, girl.
yeah, so thank you guys everyone for joining us. We appreciate it. Please, if you watch on the replay, put hashtag replay and where you watched from,
Mhm.
as well as if you have been to a recent conference you want to share your story about.
Yep.
If you want to be a guest and come on and chat about one of the many topics we're open to chatting about, here's the email
Email is
address.
beonindustrylive@gmail.com
Every Tuesday.
every
You get paid
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Mhm. Yep.
Yeah. And what else? Next Tuesday, 11 o'clock with Kathy Cook.
11 Central Standard Time.
Yes. Talking
Kathy
about
Cook with
reviews.
Opinion. That'll
Yes.
be early for her. She's Seattle, so.
Yeah. 9. So excited.
Sorry,
We talked
Kathy.
about it's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah. So until next week, thanks, guys. We appreciate you.
Yep.
Remember, sharing is
Sharing
caring.
is caring. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Yes. Awesome.
Bye.